The Manhattan City Commission has agreed to publish its proposed 2026 budget with a smaller tax hike than initially planned. Commissioners voted Tuesday to move forward with a 1.35 mill levy increase, setting the city's rate at 54.459 mills. That will raise property taxes about 7.7% for the average homeowner. The plan sets aside nearly $500,000 in the general fund to provide a 2.4% cost of living raise for city employees. Commissioner Jamie Minton.
I would like to see staff raises. I think we've talked about the significance of those over retention bonuses, but I would like us to be able to, as we discussed at the retreat, I do think it's important that we do something for employees.
Mayor Karen McCullough agreed, saying fair pay is tied to efficiency.
I think what's important is how do we run this city efficiently and as economically as possible. You can cut staff costs and you'll probably not get people of the same caliber. So, if we want efficient people who will save us money, we need to pay them right.
The city would levy approximately $2.5 million more in property taxes than it did in 2025. The final vote on the budget is scheduled for September 16th. A former Manhattan chiropractor on trial for sex crimes took the stand in his own defense this week. Clark Petersen testified about his chiropractic background, saying he ran his Manhattan practice for more than 30 years and incorporated what he called a, quote, holistic approach, including applied kinesiology. He acknowledged that treatment often involved skin-to-skin contact under patients' clothing, particularly around the back, hips, and gluteal muscles, but insisted none of it was sexual. He did admit consent forms never disclosed that kind of touch and confirmed he did not obtain permission from patients before making contact in sensitive areas. Petersen denied ever making sexual contact with any of the alleged victims and said text messages to one patient, including calling her a, quote, sexual goddess, were meant to boost her confidence, not for sexual reasons. He told the jury he understands the trust patients place in him, but maintains all of his actions were part of the treatment. That trial continues this week in Riley County District Court. Riley County Police arrested 2 people on Monday on allegations of crimes against children. Officers say 21-year-old Benjamin Leo of Manhattan was taken into custody in the 1500 block of McCain Lane for aggravated indecent liberties with a child and contributing to a child's misconduct. He was later released on a $25,000 bond. Police also arrested 21-year-old Nora Yassir of Junction City, who faces a charge of contributing to a child's misconduct by sheltering a runaway and remains jailed on a $5,000 bond. The case involves a 15-year-old girl. Close to 2 million acres are burned annually in Kansas for the purpose of preserving the native prairie. Jason Hartman, state forester with Kansas Forest Service, spoke to a group at Monday's Intergovernmental Luncheon about where Kansas ranks in the nation in controlled burning.
We're usually top 3 in the country every year. This is how we're keeping the prairie and the tall grass that way in Kansas, is because we do burn more than 48 other states every year.
Riley County Emergency Management Director Russell Stuckey says controlled burning is done to maintain the natural prairie the way it's been for thousands of years.
Part of that is controlling invasive species such as red cedars and other types of invasive weeds, brush, and stuff that is not native to our area.
Hartman says Riley County burned about 57,000 acres this year, estimated by satellites and burn permits issued to landowners.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines. K-State football back on the field for a practice yesterday. It's first back on the field since Saturday's season opening loss to Iowa State in Dublin. Quarterback Avery Johnson finished that day with 273 passing yards and a pair of touchdowns on a day where rain impacted the passing game in the first half, putting the Wildcats in a mode of having to fight back all contest long.
Yeah, it was downpouring in the first half, so it's hard to get a grip of the ball, and then we just try to, kind of rely on our run game a little bit, but couldn't really get anything started, couldn't get anything going. We got to start faster if we want to win games, especially against good teams like Iowa State.
K-State to host North Dakota Saturday evening at 6. Coverage at 2 that afternoon on News Radio KMAN and 101.5 K-Rock. Former K-State women's basketball standout Serena Sundell is back in the WNBA, having signed a 7-day contract with the Dallas Wings. On the 14th of April, Sundell was selected in the 3rd round of the WNBA draft by Seattle, but was waived not quite a month later. She'll be active for the Wings game tonight against Connecticut. She's also signed a contract with the Adelaide Lightning of Australia's WNBL. She'll begin her season there in October. Michael Massey hit a tying 2-run single in the ninth. Kyle Isbell then had the go-ahead run-scoring single as the Royals rallied to take a 5-4 win over the White Sox last night. The teams wrap up that series this evening with the White Sox sending right-hander Aaron Civale to the mound, the Royals countering with rookie Ryan Bergert in the 6:40 contest. Coverage tonight on News Radio KMAN KMAN will follow the Chris Kleiman Coaches Show. It gets underway at 7. We'll join the Royals on KMAN afterwards. Have a great day. I'm Troy Coverdale.